Long-distance relationship advice. They say that out of sight is out of mind, but that doesn't have to be the case for long-distance relationships. With a little bit of effort, long-distance relationships can be just as thrilling and satisfying as any other kind of relationship. Here are some tips on how to make sure your long-distance relationship is healthy and happy. First and foremost, communication is key. You and your partner should make a point to talk to each other every day, even if it's just for a few minutes. It's also important to share your thoughts and feelings honestly with each other. Distance can be tough, and it's easy to start feeling disconnected from your partner. Another important thing to keep in mind is to make an effort to spend time together when you can. Even if you can't be in the same place physically, you can still find ways to connect, whether it's watching a movie together, online, or sharing a meal over Skype. By following these tips, you can make sure that your long-distance relationship is strong and fulfilling. 1. Long-distance relationships can be difficult to maintain. It's easy to let the communication lapse and to forget to nurture the relationship when you're not physically together. However, it's important to make an effort to keep the flame alive. Here are some tips for maintaining a long-distance relationship. 1. Stay in touch regularly. Even if you can't talk every day, make sure you touch base frequently. Send each other text messages, emails, or chat online to keep each other updated on your day-to-day. 2. Make time for regular video chats or phone calls. Seeing each other's face and hearing each other's voice can help you feel connected, even when you're miles apart. 3. Looking forward to time together can help you get through the times when you're apart. 4. Stay involved in each other's lives. Ask about your partner's friends, family, work, and hobbies. Showing an interest in their life will make them feel important to you and will help you feel closer to them. 5. Do things together, even when you're apart. Watch the same movie or TV show and then discuss it afterwards. Or play online games together or read the same book and talk about it as you go. 6. Keep the romance alive. Just because you're not together doesn't mean you can't do things to make your partner feel special. Send them flowers, write them love letters, or surprise them with a gift for no reason. Making an effort to keep your long-distance relationship strong can be difficult, but it's worth it. By staying in touch, making time for each other, and keeping the romance alive, you can make sure that your relationship thrives, even from a distance. 2. Keep the communication lines open. One of the most important parts of a long-distance relationship is communication. You need to keep the communication lines open in order to keep the relationship strong. Here are a few tips to help you do just that. 1. Make sure you schedule time for each other. It can be easy to let the communication lines slack when you're not seeing each other on a regular basis. So make sure you set aside time each week to talk on the phone, Skype, or text. 2. Get creative with your communication. There are lots of ways to keep in touch these days, so get creative and mix it up. You can write love letters, send care packages, or even just send each other funny memes. 3. Make sure you listen. It's not just about you talking. It's about listening to what your partner has to say too. So make sure you take the time to really listen to them when they're talking to you. 4. Don't be afraid to express yourself. It can be easy to hold back when you're not face-to-face with your partner, but it's important to express how you're feeling. Whether it's good or bad, your partner needs to know what's going on with you. 5. Ask questions. Keep the conversation going by asking your partner questions about their day, their thoughts, or anything else that's on their mind. By following these tips, you can keep the communication lines open and keep your long-distance relationship strong. 3. If you're in a long-distance relationship, making an effort to visit each other as often as possible is crucial. Even if you can't visit as often as you'd like, making the effort to see each other regularly can help keep your relationship strong. There are a few things you can do to make visiting each other easier and more fun. First, try to plan your visits in advance. This way, you can both make sure you have the time and money for travel. Second, make the most of your time together by doing things you both enjoy. Spending time with each other should be enjoyable, so make sure to plan activities that both of you will like. Finally, keep in touch when you're not together. Just because you're not in the same place doesn't mean you can't keep in touch. Sending each other regular texts, calls, and even video chats can help you feel close to each other even when you're apart. Making an effort to visit each other as often as possible may not always be easy, but it's important for keeping your long-distance relationship strong. By planning ahead, making the most of your time together, and staying in touch when you're apart, you can make sure you're always close to each other, no matter the distance. 4. Be honest with each other about your feelings. It can be difficult to keep the lines of communication open in a long-distance relationship. You might feel like you're always the one who's initiating contact, or that your partner is never really there for you, emotionally. It's important to be honest with each other about your feelings, so that you can work together to make the relationship work. One of the most important things in any relationship is communication. This is especially true for a long-distance relationship. It can be difficult to keep the lines of communication open when you're not seeing each other in person, but it's important to make the effort. Whether you're communicating via text, email, phone, or video chat, it's important to be honest with each other about how you're feeling. If you're feeling like you're always the one who's initiating contact, or that your partner is never really there for you, emotionally, it's important to tell them how you're feeling. It can be difficult to have that conversation, but it's important to be honest about your needs. Once you've had that conversation, you can work together to find a way to make the relationship work for both of you. 5. Trust each other. Of all the long-distance relationship advice out there, one of the most important things to remember is to trust each other. Trust is the cornerstone of any relationship, but it's especially important in a long-distance relationship. Without trust, it's very difficult to maintain a long-distance relationship. There are a few things you can do to build trust in a long-distance relationship. First, it's important to be honest with each other. If you're not honest, it's very difficult to build trust. Second, be open and transparent with each other. Share your thoughts and feelings with each other, and be open to hearing your partner's thoughts and feelings. Communicate as often as you can, and be sure to listen as well as talk. Another important thing to remember is to give each other space. It's important to trust that your partner is faithful, even when you're not together. If you're feeling jealous or possessive, talk to your partner about it. These feelings are normal, but they can be overcome with trust and communication. Finally, don't forget to have fun. Long-distance relationships can be difficult, but they can also be a lot of fun. Be sure to make time for activities that you both enjoy. This will help you to remember why you're in a long-distance relationship in the first place. If you can remember to trust each other, you'll be well on your way to a successful long-distance relationship. 6. Be understanding and patient with each other. No matter how much you love each other, being in a long-distance relationship can be tough. There will be times when you miss each other terribly and feel like you can't go on. But if you can be understanding and patient with each other, you'll get through the tough times and your relationship will only become stronger. Whenever you're feeling low, just remember all the happy times you've shared together, and that you'll be together again soon. In the meantime, why not try and organize a fun activity to do together online or over the phone? This will help you feel closer to each other until you can be together in person again. Building and sustaining a long-distance relationship takes a lot of effort, but it's definitely worth it. So if you're finding it tough, just hang in there and remember that your future happiness is worth the wait. 7. Cherish each moment you have with each other. Although it can be difficult at times, try to cherish each moment you have with each other in a long-distance relationship. It is important to remember why you are in the relationship and why you are with that person. It can be easy to forget in the day-to-day grind of life, but it is important to cherish those moments. One way to cherish each moment is to truly be present when you are with each other. This means putting away your phone, not thinking about work or other things that might be stressing you out, and just focusing on your partner. It can be difficult to do this, especially if you are used to being multitaskers, but it is important to try. It will make the time you have together that much more special. Another way to cherish each moment is to truly listen to your partner when they are talking to you. This means giving them your full attention and really hearing what they are saying instead of just waiting for your turn to talk. This can be a difficult thing to do, but it is so important. It shows that you care about what they have to say and that you are interested in their life. Finally, cherish each moment by being grateful for the time you have together. This doesn't mean that you can't be honest about the difficulties of long-distance relationships, but it does mean that you should try to focus on the positive aspects of your relationship. What are you grateful for? Why did you start this relationship? Keep these things in mind and cherish each moment you have together. There's no single answer to the question of how to make a long-distance relationship work. Every couple is different, and what works for one couple might not work for another. That said, there are a few general tips that can help. First, make sure you're on the same page about the relationship. It's important to be clear about your expectations and what you're willing to do to make the relationship work. Second, be proactive about communication. It's easy to let communication fall by the wayside in a long-distance relationship, so you need to be intentional about staying in touch. Third, don't be afraid to get creative. There are all sorts of ways to stay connected, even when you're miles apart. With these things in mind, long-distance relationships can be tough, but they're definitely doable. It just takes a little bit of effort and creativity.